Hi guys, it's Din.Sun.Studio, aka Din.Sun.Studios, and
Rahi, aka Inaki.
today we're going to be talking about the best thing that happened to you and if it was a life-changing experience.
Basically, in short, like stuff like life-changing experience, transformations that happen in our lives, certain events and situations that basically made us evolve or
Made you better person.
made us better. In
Yeah,
many
so
ways.
would you like to tell them what was yours?
I would, but I think you should go first this time. You know, you would. I think they should. Everyone should know more about you.
Okay, well, I think the life-changing experience, well, there is two. One where I had an outer-body experience. Yes, I'll talk about that, then I'll say the best thing that happened to me since then. Well, the outer-body experience was me, like, I was at work. I'm looking out through the window, and all of a sudden, it's blank. All I see is a white tunnel, literally a white tunnel, all proper white, bright white. And I'm walking towards the light, literally walking towards the light. And you know when they say, go towards the light, don't.
Don't do that.
Because I did not. All I saw it from the other side. Something is calling me to go through the light, right? Go through that tunnel. I'm walking, walking, walking. Somehow, something pulls me back. I could feel that someone's hand pulling me back through this tunnel, and I'm back. I come back to where I was just standing, just looking straight and thinking, what just happened? I literally had it's like I died and I was going through this tunnel and I didn't. I'm glad I didn't go through, because if I did, I would never have met my wife. And I am so happy to meet her because she has changed me, made me a better man. I'll come back to that after. Rahi, would you like to say your thing?
My life changing, one of the first ones that happened to me was when I was in Bangladesh. Okay, this was a part of one of the holidays.
Okay, let's see what that knows.
I was in a theme park, you know, a water theme park, and prior to that, you know, normally in my life as I grew up, you know, I experienced a lot of health problems and stuff, and one of them was sleep apnea. So I used to choke a lot, and I used to actually experience a simulation of death on a regular basis when I stopped breathing. But then on this particular event, I was on a water ride. It's like you're sitting on a donut shape thing, and then you go down on a circular slide. And well, I landed, but when I landed, my whole family saw the float and not me. Because obviously I went under the deep pool. I obviously I didn't know how to swim.
How old were you?
I think I was like 7 or 8.
Okay.
And I'm 20 now. What happened was I was drowning, so I was like this. I was falling and I was looking up at the light, and in that moment my whole life flashed ahead of me, like from that point back to from the day I was born to how I was raised, and I grew up in a loving family with all my aunts, my uncles, my mom. I just looked up at the light, and I was, you know, reaching up to try and reach up to the surface, but I just told myself, I'm gonna die now. This is what death is. My lungs was filling with water, and I was at peace. And I was at peace, thinking to myself, if this, this is death, but for some reason I'm alright. Because, at first I was scared, but then as I touched the bottom of the pool, I knew it was over, and for some reason I was alright with it, It's like I knew something. So, that's it. I tried to swim up. That didn't work, so I just sank deeper until I just closed my eyes, and at my last breath that was left, I just let go. And then the lifeguard jumps in at the last moment and pulls me up. And obviously I was choking, I was vomiting out the water, and an experience like that, normally after you have an experience like that, a lot of people are traumatized, or they have a phobia, fear. After that, I lost a lot of things that are holding me back, a lot of restrictions, of like confidence. When I had confidence issues, I had a lot of problems I was dealing with, at this time of my life. I wasn't scared of things anymore, I wasn't worried anymore after that day. Because I knew deep inside, death is a normal part of everyone's life, but it's the truth when you realize that you're actually eternal. And we are the ever-living souls. And that's what I learned from that day, and it gave me the strength to be the person I am now. So that's something I really attribute to my life. So going back to you now.
Oh, why I'm a better man is because of my wife. Got married. Before I got married, my house was, I was like a hoarder. I had too much stuff all over the place. My jackets, I'll come home, I'll just leave the jacket on the table, anywhere I found space. Just leave everything there, shoes there. Since I've been married, I put the stuff, or I put my jacket on the jacket rack. I put my shoes near the door, like where it should be. My socks there, my clothes in the cupboard, everything is all precise. I'm happy because I would not have gotten that if I was alone. She makes me a better man. She cooks for me when I'm ill. She takes care of me. I do the same for her. So
it's a very balanced, unified relationship.
Oh, yes. I'm happy.
So, for me, after that event, moving on to a second defining moment in my life, a life-changing experience, is I had a lot of questions. I questioned life, existence, meaning, purpose, all throughout, from my childhood all the way to now. There's a lot of questions I asked. I used to always think to myself, why is there suffering in the world? Why does no one do this? Why doesn't everyone join together, and why isn't there peace? Why don't we focus more on creation, but why do we focus more on destruction? So many different type of things used to go through my head. That mostly pertains to the basis of why I really wasn't understood, even now. So what happened was, one day, the answers started flooding in when I embraced the spiritual aspect of human beings. Every human being is spiritual, and it's that when we realize that, things start happening in our lives that we can't explain, but it's for the better of us as well as the highest good of everyone involved. So I was introduced to many philosophical books, spiritual books with esoteric wisdom and knowledge, all the way back from ancient Greece, from ancient Egypt, the Sumerian times. I read a very, very profound book called The Emerald Tablets. And reading these books answered my questions. I knew the flow of things, the rhythm of the universe, and I started to piece things together. And even now, the thing that you find out when you think is the end is that it's not the end. There's always going to be an infinite expansion. There is no end or beginning, there's just the present moment, and that present moment is evolving and growing more and more. You're not going to be the same person you were yesterday, or you're not going to be the same person tomorrow, or right now. In every moment is the same. And the greatest wisdom that I've gained is that growing and learning is forever. You're always going to do that. So that was one of my other defining moments.
Okay.
You have any more?
Well, as I was saying, when I told you guys that I saw the white light and someone was pulling me back? Yeah, what I didn't say was when this higher being, pulled me back, I could hear in the background someone saying, "It's not your time." I literally remember that someone saying, "It's not your time." And I came back to earth. And when I did wake up, I was like, where I was looking through the glass window, looking outwards, my hand was like holding like a ledge or something that I was holding, and I'm sure I didn't do that when I was just looking out. So someone told me it wasn't my time, and I am really glad, because if it was,
yeah, I would never met this guy or knew this guy, so
that's right.
And I'm really grateful for that.
Okay, well,
now I have one last thing to say. Right now, in the present moment, I'm going through a certain transition in my life, and a certain someone taught me that it's not about being understood that matters, it's about understanding, and when we understand, everyone understands. So I want to thank that person, and for all the single people out there, you don't believe in love, or you never think it's going to happen, know that there's always someone out there that will raise you higher and higher and make you understand more about yourself and the rest of the world. Be with someone who brings you higher and who treats you in a way that you feel like you fell in love for the first time again on every moment. And thank you for that teacher, like there are many teachers in our lives, for helping me realize myself and many other things, and just believe and have faith, and anything is possible.
Oh, one last thing I would like to say is to my wife that I love you very much, and let's make that the last.
And if I ever have a wife, to my future wife to be, thank you very much
for making him a better man.
For making me a better person and loving me. So,
yeah.
That's all I can say.
Guys, that would be for the day, and we'll see you soon. This is Din.Sun.Studio.
Ali in a key, signing out. Thank you, guys.
Catch you soon.